66-year-old Anita Parry lives in Wales. She's been married to her husband Bill for 45 years, but recently Bill's been going through some changes.
The only thing that's changed is that Bill has now become Deanne.
Gender dysphoria is a peculiar thing. You sometimes feel so feminine that the only means of release is cross-dressing. In other words, dress in the gender you feel. And that's a tremendous relief. Just imagine this now, see. And then sometimes it might not happen for weeks or months or even years until almost my 60th birthday was so regular, so overpowering that I had to do something about it.
I didn't have any idea of what was wrong. Way back in 1997, Bill came to me and said, "I've got something to say to you. I want to be a woman, I want to dress as a woman." The way I dealt with it was I had a little cry, and then I thought of something that I hadn't worn for a long time because it was too long for me. It was a pair of pleated culottes. So I ran upstairs and got those out of the wardrobe and gave them to Bill.
It was like a love offering. And then when it was time to get to bed, she says, "Well now, do you want your old pyjamas or do you want a nightie?"
Before the sex change operation in 2001, Deanne was better known as the Reverend Bill.
We were the pillars of the society because there I was, a working minister, and we were the centre of society, as it were, and the centre of churches wherever we went and ministered. Anita and I have been thrown out of 3 chapels simply because they can't cope with, quotes, a transsexual. They feel it's immoral. And it's something I miss, and Anita misses, because we made it an event. We used to go together to a chapel and we used to be there all day together, and all that has been lost to us.
But the church isn't the only thing that Deanne has lost.
I can't even remember the feelings before the operation and having that awful thing sticking out, you know. Now, when I put my nightie on, I pass the mirror in the bedroom and see a little bit of hair sticking out where the lump used to be.
But as they say, a woman's work is never done, and this is especially true in Deanne's case when it comes to hair. Until 1998, 66-year-old Deanne Parry was better known as Reverend Bill Parry. In 2001, the transition from male to female was complete. Well, almost, but who's splitting hairs?
You know, I'd love to get rid of Bill so he doesn't have to keep cropping up. But no right-minded woman would go around with a stubble like this.
Every fortnight, Deanne leaves Wales to go to Altrincham to have electrolysis treatment, so she is all woman.
I'm not a transsexual. Trans means to be transitioning, to be moving through, and I have moved through. What you're doing is getting rid of the remnants. An ultra woman really is how I would describe myself. I do my makeup before I go out. A lot of women don't these days. I have to do it because I have to be streetwise. I mean, I wouldn't wear mini skirts, although my legs sometimes show.
Deanne and Anita have been together since 1959 and are regulars down at their local charity shops. But they used to be a little more covert when it came to dressing Deanne.
We used to have a peculiar thing going on because, you know, I'd look at a garment and say, oh, I fancy that. But of course I was in male mode. So Anita would get a hold of the garment and I'd suggest, well, why don't you try it? But she'd take it in there, put it on the hook in there, right? I'd go in with something like a suit, you know, stodgy thing. And then I'd try on the dress or whatever we'd put in there, just to see if it fitted, you know. It was a very sneaky thing to do, but it worked. How's that? How's that, Nita? Do you know what, Nita? I think I'll walk out with this.
Yeah?
Kevin can cut the label off.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll pay for it and walk out with it.
The things I miss most with Bill is being able to walk along the street holding hands. It's not possible anymore because people would read things into it and think that we were lesbians or something like that, but we're not. We did have quite a relationship with our youngest daughter to begin with, but then when the grandchildren started saying 9, which is the Welsh equivalent for grandmother.
About me?
They didn't like it, so we haven't seen them since.
So Anita has only seen our middle daughter once in 7 years. And we love them. We love them greatly.
But Deanne and Anita still have each other, and there's nothing like a girls' night out to put a smile back on their faces. Anita and Bill Parry were man and wife for almost 40 years, until 2001, when they became wife and wife, when Bill became Deanne.
Well, I'm a very shy person. I never really got on well with people, but when I met Bill, we just seemed to click, and I don't think I could live without Diane now.
I feel guilty at the fact that when I look back at it now, our sex life wasn't great. It was, you know, regular, but it wasn't ecstatic. And now she has nothing at all as far as sex life is concerned. The way I try to make up for it is we go dining. The problem with us two is that I have to still do the butchy thing, you know, and do the ordering and everything.
I do it sometimes when you've gone to the toilet. I order the wine sometimes.
Oh, okay. Really, if I could go out and get her a medal, a George Cross or something like that, and I think she deserves it, because very, very few wives of transsexuals, or, you know, the partners of transsexuals, stay together. She stood by me.
The secret to our marriage is we love one another. The love may be a little different now, but I've got a big sister and a friend that I've always wanted. I think that all couples should support one another, because that's what being married is all about.